Hey guys, do you want to know how to make great trades like this one? Well, you can do so while getting a damn nice entry by utilizing a variety of tools outside of your simple trading view charting to get a sense of in-depth analysis within the market by utilizing order flow and other tools. This includes Bookmap and also footprint charts, as we'll get into today with this video. Today, I'm essentially just trying to show you how you can integrate order flow into your strategy for completely free and start practicing today. So let's dive straight in with what we have on the chart and the overall idea, okay? So simply for this trade itself, right, we started seeing price come down. We took out this liquidity level. We were in a demand zone. So we were looking for confirmation to see if we're going to reverse towards the upside. We created this nice fair value gap and we're waiting for action here to see if price will show probable action towards the upside. But it's not really that easy to gauge a level of confidence within the upside simply by looking on a simple candlestick chart like such, right? Even even this move right here could have been a simple flush or fake out, right? And to avoid this and to get an extra sense of confirmation and truly confidence within the market, understanding what is in each and every candlestick and what's actually going on behind the scenes, you can utilize tools like Bookmap and Footprint. Now let's start with Bookmap. Bookmap is a great tool that allows you to understand where heat is located on the map, and when I mean heat, I mean the resting passive or limit orders on the market, which can typically stand as magnet for price to head towards or a barrier for price to reject off of. You can understand CVP, SVP, CVD, and so much more just by looking at Bookmap. Additionally, on top of that, you can have and understand a bit more about icebergs, the orders that are split up to make them some sort of hidden. But with Bookmap, they're displayed very nicely. Additionally, you can also see the stops getting filled in real time. And by utilizing these tools, you can get this in-depth analysis to target stop runs or additional confluence to understand where the market may head next, right? And that's where Bookmap can come in, like I mentioned, and you can use it and practice with it live while you're trading for completely free by using the YouTube channel Live Alex with Think with Bookmap. He is a great YouTuber, provides all this live every single trading day for completely free. He's a great tool that I highly recommend you guys getting into Bookmap to join and use, because although there is a 1 to 2 second delay, you can still understand what is going on within the market and make damn good trades just by using Bookmap itself. Bookmap is one of the most powerful tools when it comes to adding another level of edge within your market, and it can truly help you evolve and understand things to a deeper level in which you did not understand before. Like I like to say, analysis is very essential in trading. Although your strategy must have statistical probability, you need to work on in the terms of analysis as well to actually understand what's going on behind the market, the bid and ask. You have to understand these essentials of the market and the market as an auction in itself to truly make it while using order flow and other techniques. Now that we've gone over Bookmap, I have multiple videos on my channel that demonstrate the utilization of Bookmap, but a simple utilization would be to use it as extra confluence for targets or for stop losses, keeping them around these levels of passive orders. And you can use them for stops, targets, and you can even use them as resistance or support levels. And simply, let's just take a look and apply it to this trade right here, right? This trade occurred at 9:55. So if we head on towards 9:55, which I'm trying to find right now. Okay. 9:55 is right around this time right here, right? And what do we see at this time? We see some nice passive orders start to flow into the area that we are looking to reject into. And also at this area, we find lots of stops being there, lots of icebergs, an insane amount of buy icebergs. And what do we see? Passive buyers are starting to move up with the price supporting bullish momentum as well. Additionally, if you just look at the bubbles, right? Although sellers were present there, they essentially let go. And now, even with a small motivation from buyers, buyers can come in and push the price upwards even without as much volume as individuals would have expected. For example, just look at this large sell bubble here and this large sell bubble here. Even with all this volume, we still are pushing upwards, which is telling us that these passive orders that are set up in place can truly move the market higher and are very significant to understand. That was some simple bookmap analysis that you can apply in your day-to-day trading that can provide another sense of an edge to your strategy as well. This is just one of the many applications you can use Bookmap, and this is only one out of the two tools which we will be discussing today and how you as a trader can utilize them and truly be successful. Now that you know that there's heat at that location, how can you get an excessive and additional sense of confirmation that we are going to hold that level on Bookmap and push towards the upside? Well, to do that, what you can use is a chart called the footprint chart. And this is what you call a footprint chart. We use Addis charts to understand footprint charts. Now, Addis charts is a free to use delayed tool. And I want to emphasize that it is delayed by 15 minutes. It is a delayed free footprint tool that anyone can use to practice and to understand the market while they're trading as well. It can be really useful when you're starting to get into learning how to become a order flow trader that is integrating that within their strategy, right? If you simply have it on delayed, you can't really apply it while you're trading. But when you're journaling or backtesting, you can definitely try to use it in the past to understand where certain levels or certain confluences for the trade get applied within the footprint chart as well. And although this looks like a very normal chart, it looks just like my trading view chart right here. But there are two differences. We have this delta chart at the bottom, and if we zoom in, we see what we call a footprint chart, right? And what a footprint chart is, you can see the bid and ask orders in every single candle. And you can understand where most of the volume in a candle has been played out. For example, this is at the same lows that we started to reverse, right, without the fair value gap. Let's take a look at what happened, right? So, just look over here, right? We had major selling delta, 1,000, 1,000, 490, 469, that all pushed the price down continuously, right? But suddenly, once we got to this level, right? Around these levels, right? Even though we had major selling delta, we waked up and couldn't hold this lower position quite heavily, right? We pushed back up from this level with strength. Now in the next candle, let's take a look at our delta change, right? Look at how the delta is changing so subtly but so clearly, right? Let's just move up for a second, right? When we see this delta change, especially at these key levels, it can be another sense of confirmation, right? We see that passive buyers are stepping into play around these levels on Bookmap, and that is confirmed by our delta change, right? Just look here. From negative 686 delta change, we went to negative 41, and then we went to 725 positive delta change. This candle was still red, but it was at our key level. And would you look at it? We had most of the volume at the bottom, which shows that there were lots of buyers stepping in at these lows, pushing the price up. As you can see on this wick, there was heavy buyer delta down at this level. And although there was decent sized seller delta, this buyer area delta held very strongly. And if you would just look at this candle right here, right? We pushed very heavily towards the upside. Another thing I want to emphasize is by just looking at volume, right? This candle has 20,000 units of volume, right? But did we push down heavily towards the downside? No, we kept holding. This is all showing signs towards the reversal, right? Now, this had similar volume to the last candle, but it provided an imbalance in the market pushing price upwards, right? When we saw this, look at what we created right here, right? We have created quite a big gap in volume around this level, which I'm circling with my mouse, right? And at this level, sellers were not really present at all, right? We just pushed through with buyer momentum. And let's take a look at the right side, which is buyers, compared to the left side, which is sellers, right? The right side, there were even times when there was zero sellers at a certain price in the market, right? This is all showing signs towards the reversal. But you do not enter yet, of course, because as we're going up, sellers are starting to step in once again, right? As you see here, big seller delta stepping in. But most of the volume was done at the top of this candle. So you can expect price to potentially retrace someplace into this area with less volume, because these areas of volume can definitely attract areas, and this would be similar area to the fair value gap as well, which would be right there where most of the volume has been done. Now if we move on, this candle didn't really give us much to work with. There was seller delta, so you're still being cautious. Now let's take a look at this, okay? And this is actually very interesting. We're going down, right? And at the bottom of this candle, what do you see here? You see strong seller delta step in, right? And even though we saw this strong seller delta step in, buyers were holding this price and pushed the price upwards towards this area, and we closed at this area. This is a very, very bullish signal, especially when you have so much red delta but price is still holding this level. It can show signs for reversal once again as well. Now this candle was a down candle, but guess where we headed into? We headed into our area of essentially gap within the market, right? And if we continue pushing down, we could push down to these lows. But in the next candle, what did we see? We saw that we had positive 2K change from this, and that is pretty essential, right? As we move to this candle, we see that price has been putting zeros in the market, right, at these areas. And typically when they keep zeros, you can consider this an area for additional confluence for a reversal. Now from this area, we started pushing up and we started seeing heavy buyer delta, right? And we've closed this candle up already. We saw a heavy buyer delta at this level, right? Although we did have heavy seller delta, we closed towards the buy side and had heavy buyer delta. Now this level in itself, this relative area, would be a key level to buy. And if you would look at the next candle, we came down around this relative area to this heavy buyer area. And what we did next was a large move towards the upside, heading all the way to these highs. Now let's see where we could potentially exit, right? If you just go to the highs, let's see what's there for us to know. If you just look at the top, right, we see a major difference between buyers and sellers here. That's why it's highlighted in bright red. And what this bright red means is that there was essentially a seller imbalance within the bid and ask, and that area up towards the top would have been a very good place to sell, even if you sold down here. But just by knowing this key imbalance up near these highs, you could have knew that this would have been the area to potentially take profits, with the further analysis that on Bookmap, as we have moved higher, where did we head up to? we headed up till we broke this liquidity level with strength, and then we stalled at this liquidity level where we introduced lots of seller icebergs. You see how we can tie all this order flow together in order to make some nice trades with the market and honestly get a sniper entry and exit on the trades which we are taking. Now, if you look at that, what do we see down here as well? We see buyer imbalances, and you don't see seller imbalances until the complete top of the up move. And that, I want to end off our footprint and bookmap analysis on this trade right here, right? This trade is confluence within our chart patterns, not patterns, but our chart technical analysis with in-depth order flow analysis as well. Now that we've gone over how exactly you can make beautiful trades just like this one, and we talked over how you can use Bookmap for completely free, and how you can leverage Addis charts to get and use footprint charts for free with the 15-minute delay, so that at least you can start practicing and getting to know them when you're journaling as well. You can get started on your order flow journey. And that's where I want to end it off today. But before I do that, I do want to help you guys get started with the Addis charts as well, with my settings as well, because footprint chart settings can be very hard to understand and more as well. So let's get straight into the tutorial of how to set up Addis charts. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to go to Google and search up Addis charts. There's two ways you can do this, right? You can click on Addis right at the top, and then you can click download Addis right here, or you can go and click download straight from the Google page. But I would prefer going this route. Then what you would do is you would click get Addis for Windows and download it. Follow all the steps with the downloader or installer, whatever you want to call it. And once you have downloaded it, I want you to come back to this website. There will be a button that says register up here. Register an account with your email and verify your email. Go through all the steps. They'll guide you through it right there. It should be very simple. And from there, I want you to open Addis charts, and then you will be headed on to a page where you're going to receive many charts at the bottom. Everything's going to open by itself. But I want you to open up, and then, yeah, you're going to receive many different charts, and you can manage these charts down here, right? And your charts may look like this. Your charts may look like that. Your charts can look like very, very, very different depending on the different types of charts you use, right? Your charts may look like, yeah. Your charts may even look like this. There's so many different types of charts that are inside of Addis charts, and I don't want you to get confused with any of this, right? So I want you to close every single confusing chart, which are not candlesticks, on your chart. So what you do is at the bottom down here, you right click on the chart, you click close it. And then once you're on a candlestick chart or even a footprint chart, right? When you zoom in, you want to see footprint, right? So you want to be on a cluster chart is what I'm pretty sure, right? And then what you want to do is right click the chart, click on settings. And I believe that on default settings, when you zoom into your candlesticks, it will turn into footprint charts. So when you're out like this and you start zooming into your candles will have potentially numbers, or it will just transform into something that does not look like candles, something like this. And that means you're on the right track, because that is what you call a cluster chart, which is Addis's name for footprint chart. So now what you do is right click on the chart, click on settings, and if you want your charts to look like how my charts are, you can copy what I have on screen now, but you can adjust this how you like. Make it look like your trading view chart so it's most suitable towards your trading style, so it's most familiar with you as well, but you can adjust it however you like. I'll scroll through this slowly real quickly so you guys can pause and take down the settings if you want to copy mine. As you can see, there's lots of customizability within Addis, and Addis is a great tool for if you're getting started with footprint charts, because although it is delayed, you can later on get the membership, which will get you live data and other tools. That's all for the visual settings. Now the cluster setting is where it gets interesting, okay? So before I want to do that, I want to zoom in so you guys can actually see the clusters, or as we like to call it, footprint charts. Okay, there we are. Now, if you click on settings, go to the cluster charts, cluster side. Now, you can do so much editing within this as well. Some people like to display bid and ask, like with the X and everything, but some people like to simply keep volume as such. Some people like to keep the trades like such. Some people like to keep the delta. Some people like to keep center delta. And a lot of people just like to keep bid and ask, like how we are doing right here. Bid X ax. I like to see the X because the X just separates it a bit easier for me. But you can also adjust it to, instead of showing a delta profile behind it, you can show volume profile. You can show trades profile, bid ask ladder, as you can see. Some people do like to use bid ask ladder. I personally do not use it though, because I prefer using a delta profile like such. And you can also draw your borders within these profiles as well. Now you can also have a color scheme on your actual footprint ideologies, right? You can put volume proportion, colorings, trade proportion. I just like to keep it with delta because that is what makes most sense for me. You can do some more research within that as well. You can put a heat map. You can do so much with these settings. Now I just adjusted my colors, and what I also did was I did add an additional footprint, because as you see, there are these blue things at the side which show me where most of the volume in that candle was traded, and that I do that using the additional footprint. Now, normally your footprint chart will look something like this, and even this right here is a very powerful tool that will allow you to get another edge in the market. But I like adding on this as well, because for me this looks a bit more better, because I understand where volume is at these candles as well. And here, and for that, I keep volume, volume profile, volume proportion. I keep my draw borders checked off, just standard colors, and bold text on the imbalance levels. Bold text is where most volume is traded. Pardon me. Now below, you can put your borders as well, right? As you can see, there is a border of this candlestick on top of the footprint. But some people don't like this. Some people just like to keep a big body and keep it like that. Some people don't like to keep anything and keep it like that. And I have this direction indicator with checked off as well, right? And if you check it on, you see this candle on the left side, which does make it look quite clean. Some people do like this, and I personally can shift through this and the border as well, because this is honestly a bit cleaner. But there are many options, as you can see. You can move from one to another, and if you want the candle to be there as well, like that, you can add that as well. But let's just keep none for now so it looks clean like such. You can combine, mix and match this with that as well, but let's just keep it as none for now. And at the bottom, you can adjust the text color, all of that. And you can add maximum volume, which shows you where the most volume is traded once again. You can add your value area, which shows you the place where I believe 75% of the volume is traded within that candle. And you can change this with bar. I personally like to keep bar, so it makes the distribution of this much easier, but you can also change it to visible region, which changes distribution. You can click whole chart, you can customize it, but bar just looks a lot better for most individuals. Now below, you can also put your bid and ask settings, put your bid to red, of course, because bid is selling, and put your ask as green because orders that hit the ask are aggressive buyers, and orders that hit the bid are aggressive sellers. I'll keep imbalance rate as 300, and you can adjust minimum difference to keep it to 100 as well, so you're not getting too much insignificant imbalance levels on the footprint chart. And that's essentially all for the cluster settings. You can set up a template over here by going to the settings and adding template, and you can also add indicators of your liking down here, right? If you click on this indicator tab up here, what you can do is you can go down and click on cluster statistic. And on this cluster statistics, you can add delta. You can add everything that is here and customize it like such as well. I personally have done that, and by doing that, I created this chart at the bottom as well, which does allow me to analyze the charts to a further degree as well. Like I keep wanting to mention, footprint charts are one of the best tools that any traders can use to understand what is going on behind each and every candle. And by doing so, you're already one step ahead on top of other traders as well. No matter which strategy you're trading, I truly believe that you can gain something out of footprint charts, even if that is delayed by 15 minutes, because you can definitely backtest and trade with it as well. To get the paid version of it, and if you really want to get live data on this, what you're going to have to do is you have to go to the Addis website, click on prices, and purchase the global plan. This is the yearly plan. You can also purchase monthly, and global, you want to purchase that to get access to real-time data, but you're not done yet. You're still going to be delayed because you do have to pay for the DX feed data as a non-professional to get the access to CME data for NQ and ES and all of that. To do that, you want to go to DX feed and purchase your data by clicking non-professional and entering CME market top of book. It's $19 per month. So in total, with global per monthly payment and this, is gonna come around to be $90, around $100 because this is in euros. So for footprint charts, live data is going to be $100 per month if you want live data. But if you do not want to pay $100 per month, you can get 15-minute delayed data for completely free. And that's why I'm emphasizing to start out with 15-minute delayed, because you can still get a lot out of it, which I highly recommend you guys to do. Now, we've literally gone over a complete tutorial on how to get started with using footprint charts for completely free, how to use bookmap charts, for completely free using the YouTube channel how to transition from free footprint to live, undelayed, not delayed footprint. Live, we talked about the pricing on that as well. And we've gone through a full-on analysis of how you could have placed a trade like such with a risk to reward of almost 7 within the market simply by understanding order flow and adding it to analysis like such. That's honestly all I have here for this video. I did kind of drag it on until 30 minutes, and I do apologize for that, but I truly believe that I packed a lot inside this video with how you can get started by using order flow in your trading every single day, all for 100% completely free for now. Like I mentioned before, if you want to get the live data for footprint, you do need to purchase the global and the DX feed data. And that's going to be around $100 per month. But for now, I highly recommend you guys to work with the free version, which is 15-minute delayed, which does let you still get an edge within your journaling and backtesting and all of that. I highly recommend to get practice before you use any new tools, and once you start getting the hang of it, to implement it within your live trading. The only way you will get better with anything is through practice and training and through journaling and adapting and improving on your mistakes. So be expected for mistakes, look out for mistakes, and try to improve on them every single day. That's where I'm going to leave it off for today. It's been almost 33 minutes, and I thank you all for getting to this stage in this video, because if you've gotten this far, that means that you're a truly distinct and truly motivated individual that wants to make it in trading. And I give you confidence, and I hope you the best because of that as well. That's where I'm going to end it off here for today. If you have any questions regarding any of these concepts or anything with order flow setup, please feel free to join our completely free Discord in the link in the description below. And it has a lot of different services and items which are all completely free, which you can take advantage of. Additionally, I did link down below all the main links, including Addis, DXFeed, Bookmap Live YouTube channel, and my Discord server as well. You can also leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer it there as well. Now, please feel free to like and subscribe if you liked and gained something from this video. And I'll see you guys later for another video regarding more analysis or education almost every single day on this YouTube channel, whether that be through a trade recap or market recap series or market analysis series, or through a weekly pre-week analysis before we get into the week. We are driven and heavily optimized to get it, and together at V2 you can do exactly that. That's all I have here for today. I'm trying to keep dragging it so I can get it to that 35-minute mark, but that's all I have here for today. I thank you for getting this far, and I'll see you guys soon for another educational video, and I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.